selfish interest, genuine to fight for the rights of the working people. And unfortunately, even when unions are registered, they are unable to organize members. Right now, when you look at government public servants, we have maybe up to about 500,000 public servants. That is if maybe we excluded the teachers. If we say about 500,000 public servants, and we have got 15 trade unions, or let's say, let me first of all remove the teachers, and we say we have got maybe 12 trade unions, or 10 public service trade unions organizing 500,000 members. That will mean that every union will be able to have at least at least 50,000 members, assuming it was equal distribution. But I am not even very sure whether if you combined the entire membership of the public service trade unions, we can be able to reach even 10,000. Maybe 20,000. 10,000 might be so low. Maybe 20,000. Can we be able to reach 20,000 members for all the public service trade unions? Let's be honest. It is just not possible that we have 20,000 members. So what is the purpose of registering a trade union if you are not going to be able to organize members? Why would you want to have a trade union in the public service and introduce yourself as a general secretary of a union when you cannot be able to organize members? And the funny thing is that you will find these leaders in the public service trade unions fighting over membership. Really? Sometimes I really wonder what is really wrong with us. How can we fight over membership? Claiming that this is my sector. Nobody should come here. Nobody should go there. Nobody should go. Why was the union registered in the first place? Colleagues in public service, do not fight for membership. Do not fight for territory. Simply get together and let you agree among yourselves to condense those unions and share responsibility, even if it is in one union. You say now, okay, for you be in charge of this, be in charge of this, so that we can have a single union that is going to represent the public servants, and let that union be there to negotiate for the public servants. It will deliver results more than having so many of these trade unions there. I saw recently, like for example, teachers. UNATU has been a union that has been highly respected. You go everywhere in the world, people are making reference to UNATU. I don't know what befell the teachers. All of a sudden I see this one saying, oh, me, I'm a scientist. Oh, me, I'm an artist. Oh, me. Really? What is scientific about trade unions? Trade unions simply need membership. It is not about the profession. It is about membership and having a leadership that can assist, lead these members in advocating for what they need. So your colleagues who are trying to pursue a direction, it's unfortunate I have to tell you this, brothers and sisters. I told you earlier on, I'm not here with an intention of wanting to make friendship with anybody. My intention here is specifically to tell you people the truth. I must tell you the truth, because if I don't tell you, everybody else is fearing. Everybody thinks that if they tell you, oh, an election is going to be held, maybe you will not elect. For me, even if you don't want to elect me, I don't care. But I must tell you the truth. The issue is that you cannot continue splitting trade unions to this level, and then you expect us to render service to the workers. The workers must be organized, and then we must have a leadership, a single leadership that is going to guide us. In the case we used to see UNATU, I'm not speaking this because I'm friendly to UNATU. I even don't know whether they agree with me on certain things. Several they disagree with me. I have disagreed with them on a number of issues. But at least they have tried as much as possible to build a union which was gaining recognition. When it gains recognition, it gets the power. That recognition has an element of power, of strength, which you can use to negotiate. Then I see there are several of them that have emerged, that now me, I want to be regarded because we are special. Without us, the country cannot be there. For us scientists, we must be alone. For us artists, we must be alone. My friend, stop hiding your greed in science. Stop hiding this selfishness in art subjects. We are trade unionists. We need numbers, and those numbers are required for us to build strength so that we can demand for what we need. I'm even wondering whether some of you are not coming up because of other underlying reasons. But whatever it is, split of trade unions is not the best way to go. We are denying workers their rights. We are denying workers the opportunity to be adequately organized and represented in a manner that is going to build strength. If you come up with a small union that has about 5,000 members or 10,000, how is that going to be able to negotiate with the government? Do you understand what you are going into? This is a matter that we must be able to agree. Believe me or not, you will even waste your time, but finally you will come back to what I'm telling you. So it is important, brothers and sisters, even as we engage in these struggles, to avoid a situation of division. I told you from the very beginning that I'm coming here to share with you these things based on experience. I'm not speaking things just I've picked from the book. No. I've participated in registration of a center, for example. COFTU was registered. I regret having participated in the registration of COFTU. I fought very hard to ensure that COFTU is recognized. But the damage COFTU has inflicted, the registration of COFTU has inflicted on the labor movement is massive. I would therefore not want any one of you to go that path, because that path is not useful to the workers. I would desire to see COFTU and not to get back together into one entity, to be able to speak for workers as one entity, not one claiming, oh, I'm COFTU, I'm bringing a new hope, oh, I'm not, I am the one who is supposed to. That is not good for the workers in Uganda. We must agree to be able to function as an entity, organized, united. Only then shall we be able to have an impact. But if you come claiming that I'm going to have a smaller, I have my own union for artists, meaning we they call it humanities, the union for humanities, that is going to be able to confront and negotiate with the government. You are a joker of the year. You say now I'm coming with a union for scientists with your small number of members, and you think you are going to negotiate with government. You are a joker, and no one should ever take you serious. Simanyi liberal teachers, it is wrong. Calm down, all of you, the teachers, under one umbrella. Build a force. If it is about leadership, come together and elect a leadership democratically. UNESCO has always had problems of leaders, and they resolve their problems and they continue. Let the differences in leadership not drive us into wanting to cause splits in the trade unions, because that is one of the ways through which we have failed to deliver the services to the workers. So unions which are weak, unions that are having problems, my friend, it is not an issue. Even those of you who have registered unions, you are yet to see the real music. Those very members with whom you want to register are going to turn against you, and you will run to some of us seeking for help. Not very long, just wait, you are going to see. So I would want to think that it is wrong for us to start splitting trade unions just because we have had disagreements, just because we have had the problems with one another, and then you go aside, form a union, and use the platform to attack the other. The issue here is we must be able to discuss issues genuinely. I wouldn't want to encourage some of you who are coming, because now I'm told there is another union for the teachers which is going to be dealing with the secondary schools, then another one which is claiming for us who want to deal with the primary schools, then another one which will say for us who are dealing with the university. Really? Who has bewitched you people that you can be able to degenerate this law? This is not right. And I want to appeal to you, colleagues, find a way, even though the unions are registered, where you are going to come together. Look for your colleagues, fellow teachers, leaders of the teachers' unions, come together. and form either a federation or something that keeps you together with one leader who will speak for you, not these divided groupings. If you want to keep trying, try. But the end is going to be disaster for you. I know that every time we have talked about a need for us to be united, some of the colleagues have come up to advance the argument of freedom of association. Freedom of association is fundamental. It is important. We all recognize that whatever it is that we are doing, we must enjoy our freedom. But in our case, freedom must be enjoyed in the context of unity. Freedom must be enjoyed in the context of building strength. If there is anything that we are going to do that is going to work against our unity, if there be anything that we are going to do that is going to make us weak, then that kind of freedom is not useful. Don't say that I'm enjoying my right to freedom of association, I want to form a trade union, when actually the formation of a trade union is going to weaken us, is going to be able to undermine our unity. Then that kind of freedom of association is not good. It's not really promoting the key pillars of trade unionism, of solidarity, of unity, of democracy, of accountability and transparency. We shall perpetual continuity. We are working against these very principles. And I'm not very sure whether majority of us, because we have seen people who come up to claim freedom of association, when they honestly do not have a history of fighting for people's rights. There are people who have come up right now claiming that we must enjoy our right to freedom of association, but even historically we have not seen them involved in any struggle at any level to show that really you care, you are concerned about the people. So even when you are given the freedom, the right to freedom of association, how are you going to utilize that right to freedom of association to help the poor workers, the disadvantaged workers, the oppressed and marginalized workers? The intention here is not just a matter of enjoying freedom of association for the sake of it. Freedom of association is going to be enjoyed in the context of ensuring that workers are finally enjoying their rights. And I've indeed explained, I want you brothers and sisters, colleagues in the trade union movement, to be able to sit down and reflect. There are things which look to be good, but in actual sense they are not serving the common good. They may be good only to you as a person who is advancing that cause. But are we going to be so selfish as to look at only what we want as individuals? Isn't it important that even as we pursue what we think we need, the people whom we represent are benefiting in the long run? I think it is unfair for us to start advancing arguments in a manner that look at only what we want. There was a time when we were forming COFTU. Of course, COFTU was not formed for no cause. There was a reason. There was a misconduct at the level of NOTU which was so painful that the leaders at NOTU did not actually listen to the cries of the people. And that led to the formation of COFTU. COFTU in one way or the other had reasons for its formation. But at least one of the things that the leaders at that time, we the leaders at that time, were not knowledgeable enough. We would have looked for other alternative ways of resolving the problems that bedeviled NOTU. The idea of establishing another center was not right. And that alone has left the labor movement not the same. We have suffered tremendously as a result of the silly mistake we made. Of course, there are some benefits that COFTU has brought in the limelight. Like, for example, not to understanding that, yes, the next time people complain, you must listen. If there are grievances members are raising, you must listen. Don't ignore the complaints, the concerns of the affiliates. If you try, you will lead the labor movement into more devastating situations. So the leadership that exists, be it at NOTU or at COFTU, must always listen to the concerns of the people and don't try to act smart, because when you do, you realize there are other people who are smarter than you are. So I would want to appeal, because now, for example, even as we talk about these issues, look at what is happening in COFT. COFT is split. Look at what has been going in Noto. Because we've been having leaders that don't want to listen. Noto has suffered tremendously. We are glad we have a new leadership. We hope they are going to help us so that we can be able to rebuild the labor movement. But I do not want to see the labor movement, the trade union split in the way they did. Those days, COFT argued that freedom of association, it was our right. It was our right. My friend, the enjoyment of the right has brought trouble in the labor movement more than what any one of us would have imagined. However, we want to appreciate the smaller benefits that the establishment of COFT also brought on board. But the damage inflicted is far much more than the benefits.